Hello, welcome back. Before I start this away mission properly, I forgot to check in with Starfleet before we beam down. Let's see what they have to say.
Admiral Williams here. What can I do for you, Captain?
I'd like to confirm our current orders.
Of course. The Mertens orbital station at Simcoe 4 has been attacked. As the closest Federation starship, the Enterprise is obligated to help the Simconians repair the damage and evacuate the wounded.
What's your assessment of our recent performance?
The Enterprise's presence in this region has set a lot of minds at ease, but I'm still concerned about the Romulan activity in the area. Look sharp, Captain.
What is the current situation, Admiral? Is there anything in particular we should be aware of?
Actually, things are relatively quiet right now. The only cause for concern is all the Romulan activity in the area.
Picard out.
Okay, they didn't have too much to say. Let's continue onwards. I don't think we can actually do much in this room here.
These power surges are serious. Without a stable power source, we'll lose life support.
Okay, let's continue on.
With all the damage this station's suffered, I'm surprised it's still holding together.
Okay, I was hoping he'd walk across, but I suppose the walk function would serve that purpose. Oh, no, there is no run function either. This was supposed to be an emergency, but never mind.
I've got to talk to the engineers who built this place. The entire hull is lined with a liquid titanium-duranium alloy in a memory gel suspension. It's completely self-sealing.
You mean the station heals itself?
That's one way to put it. The attack caused major structural damage. If this were any other station in the Federation, we'd be standing in a vacuum.
Here we go. I was hoping that they would all follow us across.
She's got 2 badly broken legs. We'd better get her a doctor.
All things considered, she's very lucky. I can take care of the worst of her injuries here, but I'd like to get her to sickbay.
It's a data transfer line. The end shows signs of contact with a phased energy beam.
This cable's built for handling information, not energy. I'm surprised it didn't just vaporize when it was hit.
Okay. Can we speak to her?
I don't think that's such a good idea.
These data lines are pretty volatile. I'd be very careful about using a phaser to cut it.
Perhaps we could cut through the cable with a phaser.
We may be able to cut her free with a phaser, but we'll have to be very careful.
Well, I guess we should use a phaser.
I can't cut any closer without endangering her.
I've been thinking about how to free that trapped crewman. What if we use the station's transporter to remove the cable? I've already got the coordinates we need.
Okay, let's get back into the transporter room. Unfortunately, there's no fast travel system in this game, but luckily I can actually cut straight to these rooms. Okay, let's try LaForge. Okay, that was easy enough. Oh, okay. Let's get back to this woman.
She's in bad shape. We've got to help her.
I don't think we need to speak to other people to get some advice here. I'm sure this is the best option.
That takes care of the worst of her injuries. She's coming around now. I can't do any more for her until we get her to sickbay.
Okay. The best person to speak to this lady will probably be Geordie.
Are you okay?
I'll manage. You're from Starfleet, aren't you?
Yes, we're from the Enterprise. We came as quickly as we could, but it looks like we were a little late.
Thank goodness you're here. I'm Anna Bennett, Chief Medical Officer. Listen, we've got a lot of wounded here. How many can you evacuate?
Okay, maybe Beverly should have spoken to her first.
Everybody. But first we have to lower the station's shield so we can lock on. We can't do that until we stabilize or jettison the power core. This station is a wreck. How did it happen?
We were attacked, but I don't know who or what it was. I was headed for sickbay when something struck the hull and tore this cable loose.
Didn't your sensors detect the enemy before they, or it, got in range?
We never knew what hit us. There was an initial attack which lasted maybe 10 minutes. Later there was a hull breach and the power systems went crazy. I don't remember anything after that. I passed out.
Okay, maybe Geordie was the best option, as he is an engineer, and so is she.
The power systems went crazy. Crazy how?
It's this insane experiment Dr. Greaves and some of the other researchers put in place. A revolutionary power source. It's unstable enough to begin with. After sustaining damage like this, who knows what it'll do?
We've been reading some pretty severe power fluctuations. Is that normal?
How should I know? Those maniacs. You know what they've got down there? They plugged the biggest research station in the quadrant into a singularity, a black hole.
Now wait a minute. You said the power source was unstable. A singularity is dangerous, but it doesn't fluctuate like this.
Greaves came up with some scheme to increase the energy output. Something about gravity waves. I don't know all the details, but it involved destabilizing the containment field.
Are you okay?
I've been better, but I think I'm all right for now. Thanks again for your help.
I like Geordie. He's very friendly.
Where's the rest of the crew?
Most of them probably escaped when Commander Wilde gave the order to evacuate after the first attack. But I know many are trapped and can't reach the shuttle bays.
We'll come back for you as soon as the station's out of danger. If we're lucky, we won't have to jettison the power core. There's no way to know until I've had a look at it.
All right. I think I'll be fine for now.
Maybe compassion is a better word to describe Geordie. Anyway, let's continue onwards now she's safe. I believe we were already in engineering, so this is the next best place to explore.
Energy surges have fused these controls. Energy surges have fused these controls.
Okay, we can't use that panel.
I don't think that's such a good idea.
Okay, that was an accident.
Energy surges have fused these controls.
Okay,
Here's the life support panel.
there we go.
We need that access code to stabilize life support.
Well, there's one person we can speak to who might know this code. I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
With the holotable out, we can only get damage reports on life support and power systems.
Now let's go back and talk to Dr. Bent, or Bennett.
How are you feeling?
I've been better, but I think I'm all right for now. Thanks again for your help.
We need some help.
What is it?
We need the access code to put life support on emergency power.
But that should happen automatically.
Only if the main power has been interrupted. The core is still providing power.
So the emergency system never kicked in. But if there's main power, why shift to emergency power?
The fluctuations in main power are getting worse. A big enough surge could overload the life support system.
I warned them about using an inherently unstable power source. I never thought it would come to this. The code is 334L42.
Thank you. We'll stabilize life support. Then we'll see about that power core.
You should jettison that thing. If it breaches the containment field, life support will be the least of our problems.
We'll be back to check on you later. Right now, we've got to stop the core breach if we can.
All right. I think I'll be fine for now.
Okay. Back to the control panel we go. I think that's it.
I'd say we found our intruder.
Yeah, I don't think we should get too close to this. Feel free to pause this if you want to read it properly. I will add this to the actual thread.
For just a moment, I was reading a neutronium hull and an internal energy source. But now all I'm reading is a hunk of rock.
It's sending false readings to our tricorders. It's like a chameleon. It disguises itself perfectly. If we weren't here to see it, we'd never know it was here. It could probably fool our ship sensors just as easily. This chameleon field seems to take a fraction of a second to adjust to new scanning frequencies. If I set the tricorder to randomly shift frequencies at high speed... There. I'm getting a partial reading now.
Well, one thing we know is that it does have weapon capabilities, and we could probably see
Yep,
that.
it's a neutronium hull, all right, and a powerful energy source. I've never seen that much power in such a small package before.
As I was saying, before I press the button, we can actually see it just here. So we don't want to get too close to it. We do have another way we can go.
a wave reduction converter.
We may as well take everything that we find.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Whoops. Okay, there we go. There should be a panel. Oh, there it is.
We have to get past that machine out there. It's blocking the way to primary engineering. Ideas?
We do not have sufficient weaponry to destroy the intruder.
What is it doing here?
It appeared to be drawing plasma from the third conduit cluster.
Well, that's it. It's collecting energy. Maybe if we can temporarily shut off the power, it'll leave.
Make it think the wells run dry, eh? It's worth a try.
There should be emergency shut-off controls around here somewhere.
It did. Worf has mentioned that it was the third one, so it should hopefully be this. Yeah, there we go. Number 3. I've lost it. Ah.
Record to Enterprise, report.
We have detected a small object departing the station at high speed. Sensors identify it as a small asteroid.
With all due respect, sir, that sounds pretty unlikely.
Apparently, this object is capable of sending false readings to our sensors.
The device has some sort of chameleon field, which sends false readings to sensors and tricorders.
Interesting. The object has accelerated to warp speed.
We should continue on with our mission.
Unfortunately, we've got too much to do here to chase after it.
Acknowledged. Picard out.
Okay. Let's return to the administration office. Okay. I believe Geordie should probably look at these. He might have a better idea of what they are.
A wave reduction converter. We might be able to use this. It's a specialized tool for dampening graviton flux waves. A graviton probe. That could be useful when you're dealing with the gravitic power source. Pulse negators are used for canceling fluctuations in pulsed energy systems. That's a phase inverter coupling. It's for reconnecting multi-phase energy channels and correcting flux modulation problems. A flux router is for really delicate work. I don't think we'll need this plasma shunt. The main power source here is definitely not plasma-based.
Thank you, Geordie.
Looks like a power surge knocked out the holotable. I could fix it if we had more time, or if I had a flux router, I could bypass the damage completely.
And we do actually have a flux router.
Look at this damage report. Only a few very specific sections were hit. No random damage at all. This wasn't an attack. This was surgery. It didn't work.
Okay. I don't think there's much more we can do here. Let's now return back down to engineering. We now have access to the core control room.
You have an uncanny sense of timing.
I beg your pardon?
Timing, I said. You have fine timing. The one instant I cannot afford to be distracted, and in barges all of Starfleet.
Oh, okay. That was short and sweet.
I'm Geordie LaForge, Chief Engineer of the Enterprise. We're here to help.
Thanks for the offer, but I haven't time to instruct Starfleet in the intricacies of singularity-driven power generation, so kindly stop distracting me.
Good old Geordie. I'm glad we used him to speak to Dr. Greaves.
Dr. Greaves, I'm Chief Engineer on a Galaxy-class starship. It's my job to work miracles.
Have you seen a system like this before?
I'm not sure. It looks like some kind of gravity wave power source. But how can you generate gravity waves of this magnitude?
A little something I got from the Romulans. We've got an artificial singularity bottled up down there, and by varying the strength of the containment field, I was able to increase the magnitude of the gravity waves.
But now that something's got the energy flow out of phase with the containment field, we've got to get the energy flow back in phase immediately.
Not bad for a Starfleet officer. You may be of some use after all. You see, the only reason the field's held up this long is because I've been here manually compensating for the fluctuations.
I don't think this will be a good option to choose.
Sounds like you could use an extra pair of hands. Listen, I'll handle the conduit, you maintain the containment field.
I'll keep the containment field up as long as I can. I see you already have a phase inverter and a wave reduction converter. Good. You'll need them.
A phase inverter? But that'll just make the fluctuations reverse. Unless... if we use the wave reduction converter to dampen them, the reversal will actually work in our favor.
Smarter than you look. Install the phase inverter coupling in the damaged area. Then use the wave reduction converter to bring the fluctuations down. If I can keep the containment field up, we should make it.
I'm on my way.
Well, that was very fruitful. At least we know what we need to use. Let's get back in there. There we go.
I'd say that alien machine cut through the conduit casing to get at the energy inside.
So we were told to use the inverter coupling. And the wave converter, there we go. This should be it. That was fairly straightforward.
Enterprise.
Picard here.
We've stabilized the power core. The outer shields should be lowered now.
Confirmed. We'll start evacuating the wounded immediately.
Great. That means we're done here. Beam us up.
Acknowledged.